Yesterday we discussed one of the application of Lagrangian equation, and that was simple pendulum. Today we are going to discuss compound pendulum, but here in compound pendulum we use the concept of the radius of gyration. So before going towards the compound pendulum, let me just tell you briefly that what is the radius of gyration of a system or a compound pendulum or any system. So radius of gyration. Simple words, the radius of gyration of a body about an axis of rotation is defined as the radial distance to a point which would have a moment of inertia same as the body's actual distribution of mass if the total mass of the body were concentrated. Okay, if the total mass of the body were concentrated. So this is one of the this is a definition, a general definition for radius of gyration. Let us make it a bit simpler for ourselves. I can say it here. We have two types of things. Two types of definition. One is saying that the radius of gyration of a body about an axis of rotation is defined as the radial distance to a point which would have the moment of inertia same as the body actual distribution of the mass if the total mass of the body were concentrated. And the other one is it is the perpendicular distance from the point mass to the axis of rotation. But in this definition, this is rather a simple explanation, but we must remember that if we distribute a mass to a point, then the moment of inertia of that point mass should be equal to the actual body's mass. Root mean square distance of various particles of the body from the axis of rotation. So if we distribute the body into, as we know that a rigid body consists of many particles, small classical particles, so the root mean square distance from the axis of rotation of each particle is called the radius of gyration. This is a mathematical definition, and I can write it as radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is represented by k, and k is equal to, if our body consists of n particles, then the root mean square r1 square plus r2 square up to rn square divided by n whole square root. So this is how we can define the radius of gyration mathematically, that the root mean square distance of various particles of the body from the axis of rotation. So this is radius of gyration. So let us make it, let us understand it from an example. Let us understand this radius of gyration from an example. We have a disc whose mass is m, and this disc is rotating counterclockwise around this axis of rotation. Let the radius of disc be r. Then we know that the moment of inertia of the disc is half mr square. We don't have to derive it, we know it from our previous knowledge, even from high school, that moment of inertia of a rotating disc is half mv square. Now imagine another system in which there is an axis of rotation, and I consider this point, and from this point, let me call this point O, and there is a massless string to which there is a mass m. This m is exactly equal to the mass of the disc. Now if the moment of now let's say this mass is rotating around this axis counterclockwise, and if the moment of inertia, let me call this just this I prime, let the moment of inertia of this system be I prime if I prime is equal to I, then the distance k from O to M, then the distance k from O to M is called the radius of gyration. So, all those discussion that if a body mass is supposed to be concentrated at one point and the body's moment of inertia become equal to original body's moment of inertia, in that case then the distance, the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to that point is called radius of gyration. A swinging rigid body free to rotate about fixed horizontal axis is called a compound pendulum or simply a physical pendulum. It is a swinging rigid body which is fixed to free to rotate about a fixed axis, fixed horizontal axis is called a compound pendulum. So let us, we have a compound pendulum whose center of mass lies at this point C. Let the distance from O to C be H. I am about to oscillate this compound pendulum via a small angle, say theta. Now, when I have oscillated this system, it will move to and fro motion or simple harmonic motion about the mean position. We can resolve it O, C. So here we have x-axis and this is our y-axis, and this is the height h of that distance which via which we have oscillated this compound pendulum, and here we have an angle of theta. So first of all, let us find what is the kinetic energy of the system. The kinetic energy of rotation is T is equal to half I omega square. As we can see that this is a kind of rotatory motion, so the kinetic energy T, so the kinetic energy T is equal to half I omega square, and it could further be written as 1 by 2 I omega is theta dot square. Let us just call this as our equation number 1. But the moment of inertia and radius of gyration are related by an equation, and that is I is equal to mk square. So T becomes half mk square theta dot square. Let us just call this as equation number 2. Now, what is potential energy? Potential energy is minus mgy, and we can see from figure minus mgy is h cosine of theta. So this is our equation number 3. Now the Lagrangian is defined as L is equal to T minus V. So L is equal to half m k square theta dot square minus minus plus mgh cosine of theta. This is our equation number 4. The Lagrangian equation is d by dt of partial by partial q dot of L minus partial by partial Q of L is equal to 0. If you look at the system has only one degree of freedom, and that is theta. So our this equation can be written in term of theta as d by dt of partial by partial theta dot of L minus partial L by partial theta is equal to 0. Now we have to, this is equation number 5. Just substitute equation number 4 in equation number 5 and we will get our result. So partial L by partial theta dot is equal to partial by partial theta dot of L, and L is half mk square theta dot square plus mgh cosine of theta. This will equal to 1 by 2 m k square. Theta dot square when differentiated with respect to theta is 2 theta dot, plus this term will become 0, and we have partial L by partial theta dot is equal to m k square theta dot. This is equation number 6. Similarly, partial L by partial theta is equal to partial by partial theta of 1 by 2 m k square theta dot square plus mg h cosine theta. Mg h sine of theta with negative sign. Now we can substitute our equation 6 and 7 in equation 5. So 5 becomes d by dt of m k square theta dot minus plus mgh sine theta, 2 times minus is a positive, is equal to 0. So mk square is a constant, and theta dot when differentiated with respect to time will give us theta double dot plus mgh sine theta is equal to 0, or mk square theta dot double dot is equal to minus mgh sine of theta. M shall cancel with m. Theta double dot is equal to minus gh divided by k square theta sine theta. For a very small angle, sine theta is nearly equal to theta. So we can replace theta double dot is equal to minus gh divided by k square into theta. Gh divided by k square is a constant. So theta double dot is equal to minus time constant multiply by theta, or theta double dot is minus theta, which implies that the motion of compound pendulum is a simple harmonic motion. I think that is enough. Thank you so much.